by not knowing that we have it to start with. Well, we got it, and we're going to use it. And it doesn't come from the big corporate political parties that are bought and paid for by Wall Street. Their choices are not our choices.
Their candidates are not our candidates. Their economy is not our economy.
Their government is not our government. Their prisons are not our prisons. Their police are not our police. And their endless wars are not our wars. And their recovery for the few is not our recovery. The 1% is quaking in their boots because we're waking up to the fact that we have the power and we're going to use it. We have the power to make the minimum wage a living wage. We have the power to turn the tide on climate change. We have the power to create a welcoming path to citizenship. We have the power to end the racist war on drugs. It's in our hands. Together, we can build a world that puts people and the planet and peace over profit. That's in our hands. Our power to create this new world. It's not in our hopes. It's not in our dreams. It's in our hands. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Priscilla E. Burnett. The Independent Green Party convention is called to order. The Independent Green Party operates under Robert's Rules of Order. I'm an Independent Green Party convention chair, Priscilla E. Burnett. I'm also an Independent Green Party candidate for the House of Delegates and a member of the Independent State Central Committee. I'm a retired law enforcement officer, and I've also served as an elected school board member. The Independent Green Party state chair is Joseph P. Odo. The Independent Green Party vice chair is Gail Forrell Parker. Former Independent Green Party state chair Carrie Campbell is a member of the State Executive Committee. Our committee, Independent Green Party Convention Chair Committee, also includes Brooklyn Kinley, Independent Green Party candidate for Arlington County School Board. Sorry about that, Brooklyn. And Eric Lawler, Independent Green Party candidate for the House of Delegates. Marlene Durfree, Independent Green Party candidate for State Senate. And of course, my campaign manager, Latanya Wenders, who could not be here today for unseen emergency. The chair will now entertain a motion to accept the Independent Green Party's convention agenda.
Madam Chair, I move the agenda to be accepted. Excuse me.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
Thank you, Brooklyn Kinley. Thank you, Erica Lawler. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All opposed, say no. Nay. In the opinion of the chair, the motion carries. The chair will now entertain the motion to confirm the Independent Green Party Central Committee Congressional District Chairs.
Madam Chair, I move the committee be confirmed.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
Thank you, Erica Lawler. Trying to change your name. And thank you, Dr. Pettigrew. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the motion carries. All members of the Independent Green Party Central Committee, please come forward for a quick group picture. And congratulations to all our Independent Green Party state leaders. Video? No video? Okay. That was,
Keep going.
just keep going, okay. According to the CIA World Facebook, the Green Party is one of the The Green Party is one of only 4 truly traditional political parties in the United States. For a national Green Party to succeed locally, and state Green candidates are vital. We have to have our Green candidates to stay a part of this. We begin today Independent Green Party convention with some independent Green endorsed and nominated candidates for local office and state office. Brooklyn Kinley is the independent Green Party candidate for Arlington County School Board. Brooklyn Kinley was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The independent Green Party's Brooklyn Kinley is a graduate of Alvino College, a Catholic university. Brooklyn Kinley is a represented real estate professional and paralegal and entrepreneur. Brooklyn Kinley is the co-host of the Green Party Green TV. The weekly independent party TV show focus is independent Green Party and Green Party candidates. Positive Green New Deal echo jobs for the economy solution. Brooklyn Kinley is a wife and a mother. Please welcome Brooklyn Kinley.
Thank you, Priscilla E. Burnett, Independent Green Party, for that kind introduction. I am Brooklyn Kinley, Independent Green Party candidate for Arlington County School Board. According to the latest polls, almost 70% of Americans agree with us. The U.S. needs a third major party. Priscilla E. Burnett said, "The Green Party is one of only 4 truly national parties. It's time to promote the Green Party to the nation's third major party." I'm running as an independent Green Party candidate to help make that a reality now. We need more independent Greens, less apathy. With independent Green Party and Green Party candidates on the ballot, we excite, invite, and empower citizens. As independent Greens, we offer positive Green New Deals, eco solutions for the economy. Solar jobs, wind jobs, geothermal jobs, rail jobs, efficiency jobs. The Green Party's Dr. Jill Stein is right with her presidential campaign TV spot. It is in our hands. The Independent Green Party is the most active on third ballot party in Virginia in 100 years. That's according to America's foremost expert, Richard Winger, the publisher of Ballot Access News. Our Independent Green Party has put historic figures on the ballot, and we keep doing it. Gail Parker is the only woman in the long history of Virginia politics to appear twice on the ballot statewide for the U.S. Senate. Within the last year, the Independent Green Party made more history. We put the husband and wife team, Ken and Elaine Hildebrandt, on the ballot. Ken for Congress in the 5th District, Elaine for Congress in the 6th. We put the Independent Green Party mother and son team on the ballot. Jerry Blay, the son for Congress in the 8th, Diane Blay, the mother for Congress in the 10th. This year, the Independent Green Party elected its first sitting Central Committee member to the House of Delegates, fighting Joe Morrissey. Right now, our Independent Green Party has a wife and husband team, Dr. Catherine Pettigrew and her husband, Pete Marchetti, running for school board in Fairfax County. They are here right now. You'll hear from all of these Independent Green Party candidates later. Joe Morrissey, Marissa Risser, Cora Foley, Dr. Catherine Pettigrew, and Pete Marchetti. We need more Independent Green Party candidates, less apathy. We need more trains, less traffic. We need fiscally and socially responsible government. I'm an Independent Green Party candidate running for Arlington County School Board. As a millennial, I want to inspire other young professionals to join the Independent Green Party to run for local, state, and federal office. As a mother with a student in Arlington Public Schools, I can relate on a personal level to the school issues at hand. I want to inspire my daughter to know we all have the duty to our community. I want to keep the public schools strong. The Green Party was founded by Petra Kelly. If you look over there, there's a book of Petra Kelly. Petra Kelly was a strong, innovative, creative Green Party leader. Like Petra Kelly, I want to show my daughter a woman can be strong in the home and in the public square. I want her to know if we keep our community strong, we must be involved. That means being the independent Green Party candidate. My business is real estate. Most of the revenue that supports our schools comes from the property taxes we pay on our homes. We need a strong green local economy. Walkable, bikeable, pedestrian, and rail-friendly communities grow the value of our homes, businesses, and state. Every dollar invested in rail creates $20 in revenue for our schools, police, and fire departments. Like Dunbar High School in Washington, D.C., we need to install renewable energies. Put geothermal heating and cooling in and solar panels on all of our schools. The Green Party Green New Deal makes money. The Green Party New Deal is a Green Party winner for our homes, for our families, and for our communities. I'm Brooklyn Kinley, independent Green Party candidate for the Arlington County School Board, and I ask for your vote on November 3rd. If you need to vote early, absentee voting starts September 18th through October 31st. You need to vote absentee in person at the Arlington County Courthouse. And now I'd like to introduce our next, I believe it's Terry Modulin? Yes, I'd like to introduce Terry Modulin.
Well, Terry Modulin had to leave early, so I'm Joe Odo, State Chair of the Independent Greens, and wow, what an honor to see such a great group of individuals helping to put on this convention. Outstanding. Thank you all for coming. And Terry is somebody we need to elect to the State Senate. This gentleman has 20-plus years of experience on Capitol Hill. He was a Vietnam veteran. He's been a basketball coach of youth for 28 years and really works hard out on the campaign trail. He ran a couple years ago for delegate. So Terry, of course, living in Arlington, he knows what the issues are as well. And right there around this area, we all know that rail is the answer. Not just rail, but bike trails and safer walking distances. But, you know, in Terry's little introduction, he's talking about actually advocating a new line to Metro to run down the Columbia Pike. 7 Corners, which is where he lives, and connect out to Route 50. He wants to call it the Gold Line. It's a pretty smart idea. So the ideas like this aren't going to come from the larger parties who have some oil, auto, and asphalt interests, you know, that they have to, you know, pay attention to who's paying them, right? They're going to come from us, the independent Greens, who are growing by the hour, thanks to this great show. And I want to give another plug to Gail Parker, who created this entire Green TV. What a phenomenal thing. So again, some of Terry's ideas, he also wants to see a second tunnel under the Potomac River to make sure that we have better, more efficient running of the Metro that's going on now. Right now, it's really bottled up. He wants to see 8-car trains. Also wants to see VRE expand. Here's a great rail line now that goes all the way to Fredericksburg down 95 and relieves that corridor, but it doesn't run on weekends, and it only runs inbound during commuter hours in the morning and outbound in the evening. So there's a lot of wasted energy and use that we could be putting to use there, okay? So, I mean, rail is quantum times more safer than automobiles. I mean, we know the statistics. We watch them every year. They have come down some, but still, 33,000 Americans die every year in automobiles. 330,000 get injured. I mean, this is a cost to our economy, to our society. And not just besides the burning of the fossil fuels that this takes. I mean, the rail, every $20 invested in rail does go back to, I mean, every dollar invested brings back $20 in economic growth. Rail increases the value of our homes, our businesses, the safety of our communities. Look at North Arlington, a perfect example of how it created resources for the fire departments there, the schools, and the police. So these are some of the activities that Terry's advocating. He's running for state senate, so he also looks at the statewide picture, which does advocate, we advocate as a group for high-speed rail across the Commonwealth, connect Roanoke, Virginia Beach, Richmond to DC, and even beyond into North Carolina. So it's just a matter of putting the word out there, keeping programs like this alive, having lively, young, fresh candidates, and young and old candidates, but fresh, right? We're all fresh. So this is all smart planning that we need, and we're going to continue to grow. Thank you all again for doing this.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kate Alexandrova, and I'm co-host of Green Party TV. Thanks for having me today at this fabulous convention. It is my pleasure now to introduce Dr. Catherine Pettigrew. Catherine is part of our Indy Green Party wife-husband team running for school board. The Independent Green Party's Dr. Catherine Pettigrew is a university professor. Dr. Catherine Pettigrew is a veteran Independent Green Party candidate. She ran for a state senate. Dr. Pettigrew is a wife and a mother. Please welcome Dr. Catherine Pettigrew.
Thank you, Kate. Hi, my name is Catherine Pettigrew, and I am running for the Independent Green Party candidate for Fairfax County School Board, Braddock District. As a local college professor, I teach the product of our current K through 12 educated students, that's kindergarten through 12th grade, and I see the hard work that our K through 12 teachers do. I also see the outcome of our current teaching methods and philosophy, and it is my role to further prepare these students into the professional world of the future. For this, we need the Green New Deal. Economic-friendly jobs, rail jobs, solar jobs, wind jobs, geothermal jobs. We need the McLeave high-speed rail statewide. The trains need to be as fast as the planes. Our children should be building these systems in the incoming years. We shouldn't be outsourcing it. These are jobs that I want to prepare our students for. These are highly technical professional jobs, leveraging with the latest technology, and it's very multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary, and this is why I'm a firm believer in STEM education. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and it is the future. The jobs of the future will belong to those who have a broad interdisciplinary knowledge based in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and we have to start teaching those students in an application-based STEM environment in order to be ready for tomorrow. The labor market of tomorrow is unknown. We can't predict it. Due to technological disruptions, the collapse of industry, and the automation of a lot of the things we do on a normal basis. All of these things mean that today's students will be entering a least secure job market of tomorrow. To be successful in the coming decades, the traditional college degree or even high school degree, we can't keep with that. We have to teach our students to be flexible and collaborative in the STEM workforce, and these teachers will help us develop this. The future of our schools need to shift to a more collaborative, dynamic, and flexible model of teaching. These students of Fairfax County deserve an education that prepares them for the unique challenges of the labor workforce of tomorrow. The 21st century skills call for the 4 C's, which are communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. Teaching a static set of skills is no longer enough. The educators must inspire and the desire to learn, the willingness to adapt, and the critical thinking skills that will allow our students to be successful in the future workforce. My priority is to be sure that the Fairfax County schools develop a curriculum with a view towards a future-proofing our children. Doing so is a failure to our current students and our future students. Voting for students who are better prepared for an uncertain workforce, vote Independent Green, vote for Catherine Pettigrew for Fairfax County School Board, Braddock District. Thank you. Oh, and thank you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce another veteran Green Party candidate, a loving father, and my husband, Peter Marchetti. He is joining me in running for the Fairfax County School Board at large. Okay, all right.
Thank you. Before I get started, I want to say I've got the little green sticker on. I greatly support our friends at Free DC. Didn't we fight a war over getting taxed without being represented once before? We need to fix this problem. Again, my name's Peter Marchetti. I'm running for the Fairfax County School Board. I'm running at large. Since I moved to Northern Virginia, it's become clear to me that Northern Virginia is a place of great promise and great opportunity. Our schools are, in fact, already excellent, and I want to help make sure they stay that way. We have to remember that there are groups in this country that are trying to take over our school system and use it to push an agenda. There are groups that want to inject falsehoods, both deliberate and contrived, into our school system. They want to pervert the education of our children in the service of their ideology. One of my top priorities is protecting our schools from this kind of debasement. Our schools should not be an ideological battleground. School should be a place where all students feel safe, comfortable, accepted, and welcomed. School should be a place where what is taught is verifiably, objectively, empirically true. School should be a place where ideas can be explored, discussed, and even questioned. I'll resist any attempt to create policies or a curriculum that singles out, disparages, or shows disrespect to any student in Fairfax County. A strong fact-based education, including critical thinking skills, an ability to learn new material independently, and a lifelong passion for learning is the best thing we can give our children. And that's what I want to make sure that our Fairfax County public schools continue to provide. Make no mistake, our public school system is under attack with schemes to divert public funds to private, ideologically driven schools in violation of the First Amendment. Attacks on the integrity and the value of our teachers. If we allow these attacks to succeed, it will deprive our children of what is rightfully theirs, the best education we can provide them. Our teachers are the single most valuable asset in the entire school system. They are more valuable than the buildings, the books, or the computers. We should be developing a model for the rest of the country to emulate in the way we treat and compensate our teachers. More teachers, less administrators. More people doing the work of teaching, less people playing the game and climbing the ladder. We have excellent teachers, and the political, ideologically driven attacks on them is an absolute disgrace. Teachers deserve our respect, and I will work to make sure they are respected by our school system. So vote for better opportunities for our children. Vote for schools that respect all their students and their teachers. Vote Green Party. Vote Peter Marchetti for Fairfax County School Board. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marchetti. Great job. I'm Erica Lawler with the Independent Green Party. It is now my pleasure to introduce Colonel Albert Burkhardt. The Independent Green Party's Colonel Albert Burkhardt is retired from the U.S. Army. Colonel Albert Burkhardt is a Vietnam veteran. Colonel Burkhardt was an instructor in German language at West Point. Colonel Burkhardt is the Independent Green Party's 4th Congressional District Chairman. After retiring from the Army, Colonel Burkhardt returned to his hometown to teach. After retiring from teaching, Colonel Burkhardt joined the Volunteer Fire Department. This Independent Green Party leader is a candidate for County Board of Supervisors, Newport District, Isle of Wight County. Please welcome Colonel Albert Burkhardt.
Erica, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm Albert Burkhardt, running for Supervisor, Newport District, Isle of Wight County. What I want to do now is to go into my favorite project. It's been a plank in my platform for years, probably almost a decade right now. We all know that there's the Amtrak terminal in Newport News, Virginia. What I am proposing is a connection between that terminal And the new Norfolk and Western line, actually the line is not new, it's actually Norfolk Southern, but it's Amtrak now, that goes, of course, from Petersburg to Norfolk. There's a little town in Isle of Wight County. Now, this rail line, of course, runs right through the center of Isle of Wight County, but it doesn't stop. It's for a passenger rail. This little town called Windsor was founded in the 1880s as a passenger stop. The N&W, as you all know, of course, now Norfolk Southern, went into Norfolk in the 1880s as a coal hauler, but Amtrak has just recently started passenger service into Norfolk after about a 35-year hiatus. The problem is, of course, that that's a terminal, again, in Norfolk. It used to be Union Station, but that's a terminal, just as is the rail connection to Amtrak and Newport News. My goal is to link the town of Windsor to the city of Newport News with passenger rail service. This would not only link my own county, which is Isle of Wight, which I call it the rest of North America, but would provide a continuous rail loop, so to speak. If you can envision this, and going to Richmond, of course, going through Petersburg and down the line, the Amtrak line into Norfolk, and of course when you get to Windsor, if I can connect my rail line there, you'll get on my train there, my passenger service, and I have a number of concepts for that, and then of course go all the way to the Amtrak station in Newport News. What this does is, as I said, gives you that link. Now notice that the Amtrak station in Newport News is no longer a terminal. It's a station. It's a transfer station, so that gives you that link. Then, of course, you can go back up to Richmond and go to points west, north, and south, whatever is your choice. But that's my vision, and with the help of my independent Green Party compatriots and my constituents, of course, in Isle of Wight County, and I said this just recently at a candidates forum near Smithfield, which is the largest town in Isle of Wight County. I said, I hope to see my rail line built before I die. And of course, I got a little bit of laugh out of that. The other main point to constructing that line between Newport News and Windsor is, you all know that Newport News Shipbuilding is there. And there's already a tremendous amount of traffic on the road between points south, North Carolina, actually Chesapeake, Suffolk, and Newport News, was some 25,000 workers in Newport News shipyard. So, as we always say in the Independent Green Party, more trains, less traffic. And I'm Albert Burkhart, and I'm running for Supervisor, Newport District, Isle of Wight County. Thank you very much.
It is a privilege now to introduce the Independent Green Party's Corazon Foley. Corazon Foley is a historic Independent Green Party candidate. Cora Foley is the first Filipino-American candidate for Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, Springfield District. Ms. Corazon Foley is a retired State Department employee. Cora's husband is also a retired federal worker. The Independent Green Party's Corazon Foley is also a mother and a grandmother. Please welcome Corazon Foley.
Thank you very much. Green growth is smart growth. We need more trains, less traffic, and our Green New Deal includes strong support for our senior population. Good evening. I ask you to vote for me, Corazon Foley, as your Springfield supervisor. It is time for change, for the incumbent is not doing his job, particularly for seniors like me. He failed to redress the unfairness, with other districts having 17 permanent senior centers, while Springfield District, none. Over the last 8 years, I founded and developed with county officials, churches, and volunteers the Burke West Springfield Senior Center Without Walls that was recognized with national, state, and local awards, including Community Champion and Lady Fairfax. We have petitioned for expanded activity space as our fair share of county resources and met with the incumbent on November 13, 2014. But all he did was say good words for the press and then ignored our many requests to develop a working group for solutions towards Springfield Senior Center facilities. So, I am applying to do the job as the Springfield supervisor. I have the education, an MBA in finance, and public service experience. 30 years as an intelligence analyst with the U.S. State Department. I believe in good governance based on the rule of law, civil rights, environmental responsibility, and the market economy. I believe in keeping our taxes low and reforming mismanaged programs, like the Lorton Workhouse, for which he voted for $3 million more without requiring reforms, even after he himself criticized the $46 million of taxpayer money, our money already wasted. I am an independent Green Party candidate with no fundraising, spending $1,000 of my own money, money of my husband and me. The incumbent has raised over $400,000, and by May 2015, he had spent some $300,000, demonstrating to one and all that he is a big spender of other people's money. He objected, like me and other taxpayers, to the 27% pay raise for supervisors as full-time jobs. But if he does not work full-time, then he is not qualified for the job. And if he is reelected and remains a part-timer, he should return the $20,000 annual pay raise that he would not deserve. As supervisor for 8 years, he shares blame for what he calls failed policies of this board, including the highest commercial vacancy rate since 1991 and the long-delayed response to support the family of the unarmed man shot by a policeman on August 29, 2013 in our very own Springfield district. As your full-time Springfield supervisor, I will serve as a fiscal conservative who believes in social justice. I pledge to cut the supervisor's $500,000 annual budget to fund senior health programs. I would work with the school superintendent's budget task force to improve cost effectiveness with competitive teacher salaries. I am very proud that my own daughter-in-law has been an outstanding special education teacher, and she is involved in streamlining the special education program. I am the founding coordinator of the Edgewater Neighborhood Watch, working with the police to ensure safe and secure communities. I ask for your vote for Corazon Foley for Springfield Supervisor. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome back to the Independent Green Party Convention. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce Carrie Campbell. Carrie Campbell is the co-founder of the Independent Green Party as a Green Party local group in 1990. Been around there, Carrie. The Independent Green Party grew into a regional, then state Green Party 15 years ago. Carrie has served as state chairman of the Independent Green Party for a decade. Carrie Campbell is a U.S. Air Force veteran. Go, Carrie. And an accountant. Carrie Campbell is an independent candidate in a nonpartisan race for Fairfax County Supervisor, Braddock District. Please welcome the Independent Green Party endorsee, Carrie Campbell.
Thank you all so much. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Thank you to the Independent Green Party for this endorsement. Thank you to all the Independent Green Party candidates running on the Green New Deal, eco jobs for the economy, Albert, Jim Leslie, solar jobs, wind jobs, Paul McIlvain, rail jobs, conservation jobs, Janet Murphy. We're talking about making money with solar. You know, like the Green Party author Ralph Fuchs says in his new great book, Green Growth, Smart Growth, renewable energy is a moneymaker. It is a planet saver. My house has 51 solar panels, geothermal heating and cooling. The first year we installed it, Brooklyn Kenley, we made money. The first year, 10 times the energy was produced than was consumed, And everybody can do that. Everybody can do that with their house. I am, as Priscilla Burnett said, an independent candidate in a nonpartisan race for Braddock District Supervisor. You know, we need, in Fairfax County, every public building to make money for taxpayers. Install geothermal heating and cooling. Add solar panels. Out of our county capital budget of $7 billion, Jim Leslie, it's over $7 billion. In the capital infrastructure budget, Albert Burkhart, there is enough money in there to put in geothermal heating and cooling in every public building. The money is there to invest in green energy. And Joyce Robinson Paul from the D.C. Green Party, you know, we need to do in Fairfax County what the D.C. government has done thanks to the strong statehood Green Party in D.C., and that is help citizens install solar panels and geothermal heating and cooling with renewable energy grants, G. Lee Aiken. That's what we need to do. You know, transportation is another reason that I am running for Braddock District Supervisor. Kate Alexandrova, we need walkable, bikeable, pedestrian-friendly, and rail-friendly communities. Not just for you, Kate, not just for Erica Lawler, but for all of us, and for those cute children you have.
I'm on it, sir.
Yes, ma'am. The Independent Green Party is right. We need to bring bike share to Braddock District. You know, Arlington, Alexandria, and D.C., and cities across the United States are kicking it with bike share. Where bike lanes have been added in Fairfax County, traffic accidents declined by 13%. Almost 80% of the residents where bike lanes were installed approved. 71% of the folks, whether they biked, walked, or drove, said they felt safer in their communities. And to those of us who are eco-capitalists, like myself, the good news is they make money out of that. The value of our homes, our businesses, and properties with rail and with bikes rise. As Braddock District Supervisor, I would add electronic signs at all of the major stops, major intersections by Virginia Rail Express. We have 3 of those in my district, Backlick, Burke, and Rolling. We do indeed need more trains and less traffic. We need Virginia Rail Express dedicated passenger track. Brooklyn Kinley is a real estate broker. Jim Leslie is a real estate broker. You guys both know where you build rail, the property value goes up and everybody makes money. Light rail on the Beltway, light rail on Braddock, light rail on Little River Turnpike. These are positive, independent Green Party solutions. Rail saves lives. Rail pays for itself through economic growth, green growth, smart growth. Every dollar invested in rail creates over $20 of economic development, Paul McIlvain. We need that rail down there to Fort Belvoir in your district, Paul McIlvain. Green New Deal jobs, eco-jobs for the economy. We need to level the playing field for bikes, rail, pedestrians, and renewable energy. Cut taxpayer subsidies to 0 for oil, auto, asphalt, Corazon Foley. Over almost $1 trillion a year in tax subsidies to big oil. We're smarter than that. We're more fiscally conservative than that. And we say no to those billion-dollar boondoggle toll roads on I-66. We say yes to life-saving, profit-making rail for renewable energy. We need high-speed rail statewide. We need to build new passenger-dedicated rail tunnel under the Potomac. I'm Kerry Campbell, the independent candidate for Braddock District Supervisor. I ask for your vote for Braddock District Supervisor on November 3rd, and if you're going to be out of town, you know you can start voting early by absentee September 18th. Thank you very much.
It is in our hands. Dr. Jill Stein is one of several candidates running for the Green Party nomination for U.S. President. Other Green Party candidates include Dr. Kent Mesplay, Daryl Cherney, Ms. Kristen Curry, and Dr. Bill Kreml. It is now my pleasure to introduce Molly Loeffler. Molly Loeffler is a successful businesswoman and community leader. Molly Loeffler is a wife and mother. Molly Loeffler has a BA in sociology from George Mason University. In 2010, she was selected Fairfax County Citizen of the Year by the Fairfax Federation of Citizens Associations. She is a candidate for Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, Mason District. Please welcome her to the podium.
Thank you very much, and great to be here. Thanks for having me. My name is Molly Loeffler, and I'm running for supervisor in Mason District because I've been asked to run by several in the community, and it's been a passion of mine to help give the community a voice over the past several years in my role as a community leader. I started my civic association from the ground up, and soon after that I reached out to other neighborhoods to help them have a voice, and I restarted a group called the Mason District Council of Community Associations, which is a group of neighborhood leaders that get together and basically connect ideas, and connecting communities is what I'm about. And I'm running for supervisor because our district needs a fresh approach, new ideas, and responsive leadership. And as supervisor, my number one goal will be to make schools my top priority. I'm a mom of 2 children and in Fairfax County Public Schools, and I know firsthand some of the challenges we're facing in our schools, and that will be one of my top priorities, and you can rest assured that I'm going to work with the school board, which is something that I have not seen our current supervisor is doing. Secondly, I'm going to say a statement that everybody's been saying. Where is revitalization in Mason District? We're past due for revitalization. When we have Annandale in our district and some parts of Falls Church and Alexandria, and I hear over and over again when other districts are getting these great new town centers spurring economic growth. Where is our share of the redevelopment? So part of my role as supervisor will be to make sure that we team up with area businesses, clean the area up, and let's make Annandale a destination, and let's make Mason District a destination, because we have such great things there, really good restaurants, the most ethnically diverse restaurants, and it's just wonderful food. So that's going to be, revitalization is past due, and that's going to be one of my goals. And also, you'd think that with all these folks driving through our district to commute to DC or wherever they're going, that we'd get more of our share of transportation funding and have some better bike lanes in. We've had a lot of discussions on the bike. I know a lot of bike people, and they're constantly talking about how they're riding their bike, barely getting by in our district, and then they go into Arlington. And it's just like, the gates of joy open up. So I'd like to see new multimodal transportation and get our share of new ways to get around in Mason District. And finally, I want to just say that my passion has been to build community. And that's something that will be one of my top goals, is to recognize community leaders and those who give back in their community, and those who, help out their neighborhood civic associations. I want to make sure we instill a recognition program, because recognition is the #1 factor in job satisfaction. So I think that is past due where we are in Mason District. It's time to recognize leaders and create an award system. So that would be something else that I would like to do as supervisor. And I ask for your vote November 3rd. And your support, and I appreciate you letting me come here today. Again, please vote for Molly Loeffler, Mason District Supervisor, November 3rd.
It is my pleasure now to introduce the Independent Green Party State Vice Chair, Gail Farrell-Parker. Gail Farrell-Parker is a retired U.S. Air Force officer. Gail Farrell-Parker, Independent Green Party, is a mother and a grandmother. Gail Farrell is the only woman in the long history of Virginia to appear twice on the ballot for U.S. Senate. Gail Farrell-Parker is a successful green businesswoman. The Independent Green Party's Gail Farrell-Parker is known, respected, and loved for her relentless perseverance against all odds. And of course, for creating Green TV. Gail Farrell-Parker is the Independent Green Party candidate for Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. Chair, please welcome Gail Farrell-Parker.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you all so very, very much. And I have really been enjoying your talks. You're excellent candidates. And I'm just so proud of you all. I am Gail Farrell-Parker, Independent Green candidate for Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. And we have been advocating for more trains and less traffic, some of us for 30 years. There's a financial barrier at the federal level that prevents the building of rail. It prevents the local authorities from building rail. Whenever they start looking for funding, they go to the federal government and they say to them, if you build roads, the federal taxpayers will pay 80%. If you build rail, the federal taxpayers will pay 20%. And the Dillon Rule in Virginia requires local municipal governments to ask Mother May I from the General Assembly. And Fairfax County receives less than 20 cents on every dollar that we send to Richmond. So we need good candidates to send to Richmond. By building rail, we can grow the economy, create green new jobs for the ecology, cut dependence on foreign oil. Rail will make us safer and help us to have cleaner air and cleaner water. For every dollar invested in rail, $20 are returned to the community. Fairfax County is forecast to grow by 1.6 million people in the next 20 years, and coincidentally by 1.6 million new jobs. New tracks, more trains, more often will ensure that folks in Fairfax County will continue to prosper and will prepare for the future. Let's try something different. Let's elect independent green candidates.
Yes.
We can elect green candidates, yes, and build light rail feeder systems so that we can go places in the future. More trains, less traffic. I'm Gail Farrell-Parker, and I ask for your vote in November.
Thank you to the Independent Green Party, Gail Farrell-Parker. It is an honor and a pleasure to introduce the Independent Green Party candidate for House of Delegates, Erica Lawler, 97th District. Erica Lawler is a working wife and a mother of 2 toddlers. Erica Lawler, Independent Green Party, works a full-time job as a research administrator. Erica Lawler is another of the prominent Independent Green Party millennial candidates. Please welcome the Independent Green Party, Erica Lawler.
Thank you for that introduction, Brooklyn. Something that you mentioned in your speech earlier for Arlington County School Board about your daughter looking up to you, that resonates with me as well. My daughter is 4, and I want her to see her parents engaging in the political process. When I found out that the House of Delegates race for my district, the 97th, would once again have a single candidate, the incumbent, I decided it was time to participate in the political process in a new way. It was time to do more than just vote. It was time to offer the 97th District a choice outside of the 2-party system that has led to deadlock, partisan bickering, and gerrymandered districts. We need independent candidates and independent redistricting. My work as a sponsored programs administrator at the College of William & Mary has made me an excellent negotiator and a collaborator, and I am willing to apply these skills in the General Assembly to come to solutions. I am honored to run as an independent Green Party candidate for the counties of Hanover, New Kent, and King William. In my position at William & Mary, I support the Center for Conservation Biology, a group working to tag and track migratory shorebirds moving along the Atlantic Flyway, which runs from Canada all the way down into South America, as well as birds of prey including bald eagles, peregrine falcons, and ospreys. They have taken me out on some field excursions, which are great breaks from all of the paperwork that I do at my desk, And I've gotten to see some of these species firsthand and how much they care for what goes on in our environment, and that has inspired me. Some of their work on apex avian predators took them to the Gulf of Mexico following the British petroleum oil spill. Virginia should take heed of the lessons learned from the Deepwater Horizon spill. Offshore drilling to meet our energy and transportation needs has devastating consequences for our natural environment and those whose livelihoods depend upon it. We should be looking for solar solutions for our energy sources.
That's right.
My district is a very rural district, and when Hurricane Isabel came through back in the early 2000s, my parents were without electricity for 2 weeks. If you are not on public water, you don't have public sewage, so your electricity flushes your toilets. And that means people in those districts can't have clean water or basic sanitation. All that it takes is a disruption to our electrical infrastructure to send a lot of rural Virginia into third world living conditions. That is why it is so important for us to look at alternative energy sources in rural areas. It is time, too, for more trains and less traffic in the 97th District. It takes an hour and 7 minutes to get from downtown Richmond to Richmond International Airport via public transportation. That same public transportation route drops passengers off 1 mile from the check-in desk. You can't haul that stuff across Route 60 if you want to check in safely. Richmond International Airport is already on a passenger rail line, but it doesn't stop. Just like in Isle of Wight County, for Colonel Burkhart, it goes right past. We need to put a station on this convenient connection for business travelers, employers, and vacationing families. This is a stretch of track that runs from Richmond all the way to Williamsburg, and it could service my district at Providence Forge in New Kent County to allow people working at the airport, which is a major regional employer, to do something other than sit on Interstate 64. Aside from these environmental and transportation concerns, I have a viable improvement to the Virginia Public Procurement Act. It was revised in 2014, but those revisions were not material. One of my responsibilities as a sponsored programs research administrator is oversight of expenditures on research grants, including purchases made from vendors. I sat on a procurement panel, and it took over 10 months for us to get through a single bidding and contracting period. We need to bring the Public Procurement Act into the 21st century with an electronic, statewide bidding and review portal. We already ask our vendors to submit invoices through one. Let's expand it for their bids and reviews too. This is a process that is fiscally responsible and will save Virginia's agencies money on the services and goods it cannot provide to itself. I thank you all for inviting me to the convention to speak, and I hope that in November you will vote for me for 97th District, Erica Lawler, Independent Green Party.
Thank you, Erica. It is a joy to introduce the Independent Green Party's Colonel Jim Leslie. Colonel Jim Leslie is the only Native American Indian on the ballot for Virginia's House of Delegates. Independent Green Party candidate Colonel Jim Leslie is a Vietnam veteran. A U.S. Marine Colonel Jim Leslie was a pilot in Vietnam. The Independent Green Party Jim Leslie is a husband, father, and grandfather. Like me, Colonel Jim Leslie is a real estate professional. Please welcome the Independent Green Party Jim Leslie.
Thank you, Brooklyn. Thank you, Brooklyn. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you, Independent Green Party. We certainly have an energetic group here today, and thank you all for helping this country and helping Virginia. The Green Party's Dr. Jill Stein is right. It's in our hands. As citizens, it is our duty and responsibility. The Green Party, Green New Deal means preserve the Republic, safeguard our democratic institutions, and protect our planet, our future generations. This Green Party work is for our children, our grandchildren, and their children. Already in Virginia, more people work in renewable energy than coal. Solar installations doubled in the last year. Green organic agriculture is growing. Best green practices preserving federal fertile arable lands are increasing. Thousands of green businesses, millions of green scientists and engineers are finding innovative green solutions every day. They are making green profits. They are green money. The green eco-capitalist revolution has already begun. Human ingenuity in harmony with biosphere is green profit-making future. The Independent Green Party is right. We can make Virginia and America great again. Virginia and America will be great with the Green New Deal eco-jobs for the economy. Will grow business and wealth of every American. Green growth is smart growth. Renewable energy is cheapest to build. High-speed modem nationwide mechanic levitation rail would create 4 million jobs. The Independent Green Party is for rail to Dallas and beyond. Build the Cameron Run Virginia Rail Express Station. Build the Potomac Yard Metro Rail Station. Put light rail on the Beltway. Light rail on Backlick, Braddock, and Little River. Build rail to Fort Belvoir. Build a new passenger rail tunnel under the Potomac. Install electronic signs at every intersection near Virginia Rail Express. Build a dedicated passenger rail track for Virginia Rail Express. Add new 8 rail car trains to the Metro Rail. We say no to wasting taxpayer dollars on million-dollar boondoggle toll roads. Do not give way to public property to private campaign contributors. No billion-dollar boondoggles, toll roads on I-66. Cut taxpayer subsidies to zero for big oil, big auto, and big asphalt. Almost $500,000 in tax subsidies go to big oil every year. According to the new book, Green Growth, Smart Growth by Ralph Fuchs, Green Party. We need more trains, less traffic. It's the positive solution. Rail saves lives. Rail pays for itself through economic growth. Rail makes money. Every dollar invested in the rail creates $20 million in economic development. Rail increases the value of our homes, businesses, and communities. Rail creates revenue for our schools, police, and fire department. The Independent Green Party New Deal is for rail because it provides rapid evacuation in emergencies. Rail is a national security issue. So, as an Independent Green Party candidate and United States Marine, I want to salute the Green Party and all of the other Green Party candidates. Thank you for your patriotism, citizens to service in this land, its people, and the planet we love. I am Jim Leslie, Independent Green Party candidate for the House of Delegates. I ask for your vote on November 3rd.